Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce keep everyone on their toes. First up, the couple was spotted trading quick kisses at the soft opening of Travis's Steakhouse, low-key PDA and all, proving engaged life can be cozy without the chaos. And then, whispers of a wedding delay sent fans into full-on conspiracy mode, speculating everything from prenups to public image strategy. Next, Taylor's album smashed records while Travis weighed retirement, showing she's unstoppable on all fronts.
Yes! This is why I do music. In my mind, I had, the perfect album.
And finally, Travis found himself in the middle of podcast drama, urged to invite Justin Baldoni to smooth over old legal tension because, of course, the internet loves a side quest. Taylor skipping an NFL opener but still pulling up for her man? Yeah, that's very on brand for her current soft launch fiancé era. While she wasn't in Brazil screaming from a VIP suite as Travis Kelce kicked off his season, she was very much present where it mattered, at the soft opening of his shiny new steakhouse in Kansas City, where the vibes were premium beef, close friends, and extremely casual PDA. Taylor showed up quietly, no spectacle, no dramatic entrance, just hand in hand with Travis like two people who absolutely know everyone in the room is watching but are pretending not to notice. She was reportedly rocking a blue denim mini dress because of course she was, and the couple slid into a semi-private corner booth that screamed, "We're famous but we're also just here to eat." Sources paint the night as less red carpet, more rom-com montage. Travis bounced around chatting with teammates and friends. Taylor blended right in, and every time they drifted apart, there were smiles exchanged across the room like teenagers at a house party. They kept it light, laughed a lot, and traded quick kisses that were sweet but not showy. Basically the exact opposite of the chaos people expect when two mega-famous humans occupied the same space. They stayed out front mingling for a couple of hours before retreating to a more private back area, which feels very "we've done our rounds, now let us eat in peace." Taylor, meanwhile, is fully enjoying her engaged era. She's glowing, genuinely happy, and still very much into the old mind-cut diamond Travis gave her. Apparently the ring is getting plenty of airtime, and no one around her is surprised by that. She waited, she's happy, and she's not hiding it. And honestly, this whole calm, confident, unbothered phase feels wild when you remember how chaotic the early days of their relationship were. Enter Tony Romo, chaos agent, accidental prophet, and part-time Swiftie troll. He recently admitted that back in 2023, when Taylor first started popping up at Chiefs games and the internet was losing its collective mind, he decided to have a little fun at everyone's expense. During a live broadcast, when cameras cut to Taylor in the stands, he casually referred to her as Travis's wife, then immediately corrected himself, then watched the internet combust.
900th career reception.
And his wife loves it. I mean, girlfriend. Kelce's wife, Taylor Swift in the audience, or I'm sorry, girlfriend. I was joking.
According to Romo, this was not a slip. It was a deliberate little prank designed to mess with fans just enough to make them spiral. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he enjoyed every second of the confusion.
I root for them to get married. Because they're not married, guys. I was joking. You can throw something out, and everyone looks into it so much. It's like, just a comment, just a joke.
At the time, Taylor and Travis were barely public, and suddenly people were convinced Romo knew something they didn't. Turns out he didn't. He was just choosing chaos. Fast forward a couple of years, though, and the joke accidentally aged like fine wine because now they actually are engaged. Oops. Romo later brushed it off, saying the whole Taylor at games thing never felt like a big deal to him anyway. From his perspective, having one of the biggest stars on the planet at football games only added to the atmosphere. More eyes, more excitement, more fun. He even pointed out that someone once pulled the exact same joke on him when he was dating Jessica Simpson back in the day, so maybe this was just the universe recycling its material. Whispers started flying that Taylor and Travis had supposedly hit pause on wedding planning because obviously calm happiness online must mean impending doom. Suddenly, a very normal decision turns into a full-blown conspiracy saga, and fans, armchair detectives, and TikTok theorists are sprinting to their keyboards like it's the Olympic finals of overthinking. Reports about the wedding delay spark instant speculation that something deeper is going on, because in pop culture logic, two people not actively planning centerpieces equals relationship crisis. The initial explanation floating around is pretty straightforward. Travis is at a career crossroads, possibly weighing retirement, and Taylor doesn't want to pile floral arrangements and seating charts onto his already spinning mental load. Sensible? Yes. Dramatic? Absolutely not.
I've talked to a few people in the facility already, having the exit meetings and everything. And they know where I stand, at least right now. And I think, just being a regular human for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, and trying to figure out what I'm going to do next in terms of my future in football.
And that's where some fans start squinting suspiciously because a boring explanation never satisfies the internet. A few online creators quickly jump in to suggest that if this were truly just about timing, no one would need to whisper it to the press at all. The fact that it's even being discussed publicly sends certain corners of the fandom spiraling into theories about narrative control, image management, and what they dramatically label a soft launch of a breakup. According to these theories, the wedding pause isn't about logistics, it's about easing people into bad news gently, like lowering someone into cold water instead of shoving them off the dock. The speculation snowballs fast. Once the word soft launch enters the chat, everything suddenly becomes suspicious. A delayed plan turns into a strategic move, silence becomes loud, normal adult behavior is recast as a chess move 3 steps ahead, and of course, blind items start circulating, because no celebrity spiral is complete without anonymous hints claiming that things behind the scenes are less smooth than they look. Some of those whispers hint that prenup discussions aren't going exactly as planned, which immediately sends fans into finance lawyer mode despite having zero actual documents to reference. Others pull in older chatter about Travis's charity foundation, which faced questions about financial transparency last year. That gets framed as being fundamentally misaligned with Taylor's meticulously polished brand, as if she personally audits every nonprofit within a 5-mile radius. The leap in logic is impressive, if nothing else. Suddenly, a pause in wedding planning is being stitched together with unrelated controversies to create a dramatic tapestry of doom. Then comes the external pressure angle, because why stop at one stressor when you can pile on 5? Some reports suggest Travis is privately stressed about the possibility of Taylor being dragged into legal proceedings connected to a high-profile lawsuit involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, thanks to her text messages appearing in legal filings. The fear, according to insiders, is that court schedules don't care about wedding timelines, and the idea of having to cancel or reschedule something personal because of legal chaos feels deeply unromantic. Add that to his uncertainty about football, and suddenly the narrative becomes one of a man overwhelmed on multiple fronts. Online, fans split into camps almost instantly. One side is convinced this is the beginning of the end, pointing to every leak as proof that Taylor's team is slowly preparing the public for heartbreak. Others are already joking that a wedding cancellation is officially on their 2026 bingo card, said half seriously, half for the memes. But not everyone is buying into the panic. A quieter group points out how meticulously Taylor controls her public narrative and argues that leaking vague, confusing stories could actually be the ultimate misdirect. The logic there is that if everyone's busy debating whether the wedding is happening at all, the actual wedding day might slip by unnoticed, private, peaceful, and blissfully paparazzi-free. That theory gains a little traction when people notice that despite all the noise, there's no visible fallout between the two. No icy distance, no cryptic unfollows, no sudden sad playlists screaming emotional distress. On top of that, their families are growing closer, not pulling apart, which doesn't exactly scream imminent breakup. So while the internet keeps spinning theories like it's paid per speculation, the reality appears far less dramatic and far more normal. While the internet is busy playing wedding CSI, another plotline quietly steals the spotlight. This past year has basically been a highlight reel for her, balancing supportive partner energy with absolutely obliterating the music industry at the same time. Multitasking, but make it legendary. Her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl, drops and immediately behaves like it pays rent everywhere it goes. The album doesn't just perform well, it straight up kicks the door in, rearranges the furniture, and claims ownership. The numbers go so wild that her label starts breaking industry records like it's a hobby. Apparently, the album alone accounts for a jaw-dropping chunk of the entire music market, despite only being out for a few months. That's not success. That's a hostile takeover. Behind the scenes, Taylor is deep in her creative mode while recording, hopping between tour stops and studio sessions like it's totally normal to fly across continents on your days off just to lay down vocals. Exhausted? Sure. Mentally fried? Maybe. Still thrilled to be creating? Absolutely. She thrives in that chaos, running on adrenaline, inspiration, and probably a very elite playlist. And that same chaos she thrives in now spills straight into podcast comment sections and Instagram replies, because suddenly Travis's name is getting dragged into a whole different kind of drama. After some leaked texts tied to the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni legal mess surfaced, fans apparently decided Travis was the main character who needed to fix everything. His Instagram comments turned into a digital town hall, with people urging him to invite Justin Baldoni onto his podcast and issue some sort of public peace offering. Because yes, obviously the correct crisis response is a mic, a couch, and a New Heights episode. The reaction snowballed fast, with Baldoni supporters flooding Travis's page like he personally typed the texts himself. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Travis wasn't exactly blindsided by the tension. Apparently, back when things between Taylor and Blake first started feeling off, Travis clocked it early. He allegedly noticed the vibes were weird before Taylor ever said anything out loud, which is impressive observational skills for a man whose job involves running full speed into linebackers. According to people close to the situation, Travis quietly encouraged Taylor to look closer at the friendship dynamic and trust her instincts. He reportedly felt the energy wasn't lining up with what an actual supportive friendship should feel like. So instead of telling her to ignore it or play nice, he nudged her toward addressing it directly. Very grown adult communication, very not what the internet expects. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.